Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ultimate Schmoedown Aftershow. My name is John Barr, and I'm not as sick anymore. I'm going to be hosting this wonderful episode of the Ultimate Schmoedown Aftershow as we talk about three wonderful matches, maybe get up to some shenanigans, as the thumbnail might do that. But in order to do any of that, I'm going to be doing it with two wonderful co-hosts joining me. First up, to my left, we have Soul. How you doing, Soul?
Doing good. Got a negative COVID test today, so I'm happy about that. And I'm excited to talk about these matches. 3 great matches this week.
I have not gotten my COVID test back, but I have a sinking suspicion of what it's going to say.
Oh,
but what
no.
I definitely want to know what it has to say about anything and everything is, of course, MVP of this show, Boggs. How you doing, sir?
I'm all good. You say that to all the after show hosts.
That's true. I keep
all good,
knocking down the certain point of view's doors like, hey, you're my favorite MVP. And then I run back into the bushes.
Exactly. I've heard you say it. But no, all good. It's just 3 matches this week. Obviously, there is a filming, big filming thing going on today at the Scum and Villainy Cantina. Look forward to seeing them matches, of course. But yeah, let's break these down. Let's have some fun with the patrons.
Absolutely. And just like Bog said, we're going to be having a little bit of fun with the patrons. We're going to be talking about some Discord stuff. And the only way to get in on that action is by joining the Patreon, patreon.com/John Roca, to have a fun little party with us like we're going to have today. That's right. Soul's pointing at it. Half at me, half at the link. Another thing you can also do if you want to support this show is, hey, send us a Streamlab. There's a URL that's right up here. There we go. I've remembered how to point. Streamlabs.com.
High five.
Nope. I immediately forgot. Again. Hey, that's right. Super chats as well are another way you can support us. But if you can't support us monetarily, that's all right. You can also support us by commenting over on this side. There we go. Oh, I remembered it just in time. Comments right here, just commenting live, like the Killer Contessa, like Darren Wright, like Jeremy Miller, like Justin Toner. Do things like that just to keep the show nice, high energy, and active. And then also, don't forget, you can also leave us comments at the bottom of the video when we are no longer live, because we like to read out comments that are left under there for the previous episode each and every week. And so I believe that's what we're going to do right now at You're Ready.
I'm ready. So first we have Jeremy Miller going, fun B&B show. Great to hear from Jesse and Jacob. Can't wait to see more of them next season. So I guess you guys also have the name of B&B.
That one got tossed out for sure.
Tossed out or in? Out.
I'm not.
Either way.
I definitely got thrown into the mix, but I don't get to decide what we separate out. That's up to the people.
Up to the people. And then we have Renset Saru going, love the idea of an international match between Blunden and Kim Taylor-Foster. It'd be a fun match to showcase 2 impressive rookies, and if it's close to spectacular, it could be a crucial 2-point swing for 2 teams contending for the faction title.
Oh no, so we lost you. We lost you right at the tail end of the Kim Taylor-Foster, Jacob Blunden bit.
5, 4.
You guys get that?
And we got the first half.
You're back now. Yeah.
I'm back. Technology. Also, the cops are here too. So
they're here to arrest your Wi-Fi. I get it.
Yes.
What was it? 2 weeks ago now, where mine just completely pooped out? It happens to everybody.
Happens to everyone. I will reread Renset Saru's. Love the idea of an international match between Blunden and Kim Taylor-Foster. It'd be a fun match to showcase 2 impressive rookies, and if it's close to spectacular, it could be a crucial 2-point swing for 2 teams contending for the faction title. Also, shout out to Jesse. I'm still not over him getting screwed by the Superman the Movie answer in his debut. He's going to be a big contender next season.
Could very well be. Being a married man might be what changes him, right? That might be the sole motivation he needs to just immediately annihilate.
Exactly. And then we have Chris Taylor here with a new couple name. Bar plus Boggs equals Bags? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
That's right. Some money bags. I dig it.
Money bags. I love it.
Yeah, right? We got to get Felix probably in there.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember Felix? Oh, what a great gentleman. But hey, why are we going to be talking about him, even though he's great, when we have 6 other great contestants who happen to have been in 3 great matches this past week, huh? That sounds like something that is better to discuss. Boggs, I know you got a dip for one hot second.
We do.
Go ahead and do as you wilt.
Okay.
As I ask Soul a quick question. Hey, how you feeling about these faction standings? Because we've had a little bit of a shakeup in the past, I guess, 2 weeks now, roughly. With the Quirky Mercs now reigning supreme.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're getting into the tournaments. So if you had to say, how much more of a shakeup do you think we're going to see in these current faction standings? And how much do you think we're going to see certain factions just continue to reign supreme?
I think we're going to see a shakeup of like the top 4. I think it's going to be going up and down throughout each match. However, my poor S.W.A.G, my poor S.W.A.G, they're at the bottom. They're not like completely at the bottom, but they'll probably be at the bottom soon. It's okay.
You think it's going to get shaken up to where they're just completely scrunched, huh?
It's sad. It's very sad. My heart hurts. But I love S.W.A.G. I'm going to support S.W.A.G. I'm here through the good and the bad. So
there you go.
Just
I mean,
bad
fair
season
enough.
This year.
You know, that's true. They've not been doing great. I gotta look back up what the like Stars' lineup is for the singles tournament. Because if I remember correctly, I don't think Jeff Snyder is in the singles tournament.
No, he's not.
Which, I mean, listen, I wish no ill will upon Roxy, but just to give Winston Marshall and S.W.A.G a little bit of hope, you know, it's going to be a tough battle for last. It's going to be
a
tough.
Huge battle for last place. I'm here for it. I think that we need the Stars and S.W.A.G just to keep going after each other to battle for last place.
Oh, man. You were saying you think there's going to be some shakeups within the top 4. The top 4 right now being the Mercs, the Dungeon, the Suspects, and the Finstock Exchange. Do you think that one of those 4 is going to get ousted as the top 4 gets jumbled up? Or do you think that's just going to be those 4 specifically punching each other with movie facts?
I would be remiss to say that Corruption doesn't have a chance, because Corruption always finds a way to sneak up there. Although I think Corruption's going to be the S.W.A.G of this year. S.W.A.G kept rising up and got 2nd place last year, so I think that's where they're going to fall this year, is 2nd place. I think Finstock Exchange, earlier I was thinking they might end up possibly on top. I'm not exactly sure. I think they're going to be in the top 3, though. I think it's a Quirky Mercs season. That's what I'm feeling this year.
I mean, it's certainly been a Quirky Mercs latter half, which I think is basically what happened last year with Corruption, is that they were something of a latter half faction as well. So, yeah, this might have been the moment. But in order to really talk about the inner geekdom division and how that is shaping up as far as the faction war goes, we're going to be talking about the Suspects, which are now in that lauded top 4, and S.W.A.G, the faction that is struggling for a last place finish with the Stars. And for that, we are going to bounce it on over to Boggs to talk about yet another incredible Ethan Erwin versus Paulo Oyama match. Oh, but your audio is not working, so we'll first fix your audio.
Oh, good.
And then we'll talk about another great Ethan Erwin.
Keep you on your toes.
Dude, you can't do that right when Tushka shows up, because Tushka is just going to dunk on you. You know that.
He's too early today. Damn it. Damn it. But yeah, speaking of Outlaw Nation patrons, obviously, you know, like we said, super chats and Streamlabs are open. Before we're going to do some trivia at the end. Before we do that, we are going to do, you know, like a Q&A thing. If you guys want to discuss any topics, you know, you can pop in the Discord and we can bring you on and discuss, you know, anything's on the table, you know, obviously, you know, within reason, of course, you know, nothing private about John's love life or anything like that, but everything else Schmoedown related is on the table.
I'm
but yeah,
legally not allowed to speak about my romance with Brendan Fraser, so please leave that out of it. Who said that name? I didn't.
Quite
what the for that tree. When you're ready, Bugs.
Yes, first round in a Geekdom tournament. They kick it off. Obviously, Paul Oyama against Ethan Erwin rematch, but obviously in IG. Nice to see Christian and PJ on the desk. Obviously going in, we did obviously vote who's who. I did say Oyama because, more experience in IG. You don't know how deep Erwin can go in IG, but he proved that he can go deep. First round, finishing 8-6 to Erwin. To Oyama. Not the best round for Erwin. Obviously, a few misses. And I just kind of thought this is how the match is going to go. But obviously, I was clearly wrong. Better start from Oyama. Clearly, the more experienced guy in IG. I thought, okay, cool. He's in his stride now. S.W.A.G are almost desperate for points at this part of the season. So I really thought that they would, he'd come into his own there. But so, do you have any thoughts about the first round?
Before even getting to the first round, there was some chance hate that Sam Levine was throwing in the promo. He's like, this is Erwin has the possibility of being one of the best triple threat players. And then he mentions his racial cussing. He mentions his mic. And then he goes, and that's it. And then later he's just like, yeah, not chance. And so chance hate right from the beginning of the promo. So I kind of found that hilarious from Sam Levine. We love chance over here, but I kind of like any shots that people take at each other. I'm always here for it. But yeah, this was very much, you watch round one, you're like, okay, this is Paul Oyama's, because Erwin's has a good showing, but it's 6 out of 10. And you kind of could tell that Paul knew some of the answers that he missed. And he even then, he was like, I should have kept that one answer. I forget exactly which one it was. But he was kind of beating himself a little bit up, but he was still playing really well throughout round one. And so I was like, okay, yeah, this is going to go in Paul's favor. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, it might have been the Frida Pinto one.
No, because Ethan missed that one. I think Soul's talking about the Gary Busey Predator.
Oh,
yes, Gary
okay.
Busey, yeah.
Okay, before we go any further, so give me a swag drip.
Swag drip.
There we go. Thank you. Now I can relax. And then going on to round two, obviously Ethan goes first. Spins Star Trek. We know he's big fan of Star Trek. Absolutely lethal in it. And obviously, he only went to multiple choice once, got the rest 2-pointers, didn't miss a question, and took the lead. Obviously, Oyama did go next. Unfortunately, not the best round for him. He spun off scores and soundtracks, landed on X-Men. I just thought the questions were super hard. It's kind of low key, like the category is like you think, oh, okay, it's just the kind of original trilogy and the newer trilogy, but there's so many other movies, the Wolverine stuff, obviously New Mutants, all these other movies as well. So they do go quite deep, clearly. And, he only got 4 points out of 5 questions. So, Erwin only getting the 1 point steal. Lucky they both missed one question as well. But yeah, going in, I felt the similar shades to, the Barbarian against Alex Damon when he spun Star Wars in that, number one contender elimination match earlier on this season. I thought Barbarian was going to win that, being just more well-versed in IG personally. But no, when someone has that equalizer, if someone has that, that KO that they can just pull out anytime. I do love that. A bit like Perri with new release and stuff, which we'll talk about later. But I just find it super interesting where you can just pull it out and just, go through it and take the lead, the end of the round up. So 16-12, I believe. So John, any thoughts on the second round? Because obviously we saw a complete shift in the match.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you were saying, yeah, like Star Trek is really kind of like the number one category that Ethan could have possibly spun, and getting that 9 out of a possible 10 points when, again, we're talking about a pretty deep cut division generally. And then when you're talking about a slice that is pretty wide, just like, Star Trek and X-Men, a lot of movies in both those categories. So it is impressive that like Ethan was able to get so many as he did. And then, yeah, Paul, like some of those X-Men questions, I mean, you had to assume they were going to be tough. But even so, when you get asked like what Stryker's son age was, there's a part of you that's just like, come on, man. Come on. What are you doing? And then, yeah, I kind of felt like the War and Peace quote that Paul missed that Ethan was able to steal. That was one of those kind of 50-50s in my mind, where it's like once you hear it, you're like, yeah, that is something either Mystique or Magneto says. And that's something they've talked about, Christian and the Question Matters before. It's like, yeah, they like to manage to pull at least a fair amount of questions that are like context clues. So when you look at that War and Peace quote, you're like, yeah, that's got to be someone that's kind of cool with the X-Men at least. So it's got to be one of those two.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, going into this, I honestly didn't think it was over for Paul necessarily, especially because of how round 1 went. I was like, all right, 4-point differential, that's bad. That's certainly not what you want. But we've seen that Paul has better, well-rounded information. So at this point, as long as he can hit some of his questions and put Ethan in a position where he's got to answer one or two, then like that could easily be the thing. Like those big point questions, that could still be the deciding factor. It just so happened, Boggs, that Ethan didn't have to answer any of his round 3 questions.
He didn't know. It was to a surprise, big surprise. You know, his 2-pointer was the Harry Potter question, Victor Crumb, I believe. So not bothered about Harry Potter. It's for kids anyway, right? So not a flame. Yeah, he gets his 2-pointer, obviously makes it 16-14, then misses the 3-pointer and his tough 5-point question. And then surprisingly wins by TKO. Never would have thought that. You know, so big upset for me. No, not big upset, an upset for me. But, you know, Erwin's just showing his worth. Triple threat, you know, just coming off the big title win. You know, he's a singles champ now, going against Parker. Different kind of prospect against Parker. You know, you can't be hitting 6 points against Parker in the first round. No way. He's probably going to miss maybe one question, maybe 2, or like go one, like miss one and kind of go multiple choice on the second. So that's the level that he sets himself at. That's the standard. So, but nevertheless, good performance from Ethan. Got the win, but yeah, S.W.A.G. I think they're struggling a bit. So unfortunately, they've got to pick up points from somewhere. Don't know where. Maybe in the tournament. But any final thoughts on the match?
One.
Yeah,
well,
singles.
First off, you were worried about Tushka going after you. We have the killer Contessa saying, so is Boggs admitting that he can't pick winners in the chat? So
wow, not even true, really.
Maybe.
Not even
if
true
we
at
look
all.
at the numbers, Boggs is
You are
actually
the Contessa. I'll let you
pretty
get
good
one.
at picking winners, but fair enough.
No, this is
And
an upset.
I just wanted to shout out my favorite part of this match. They got a Black Kaiser polar question, and then Paul Oyama goes, not to be confused with Kaiser when he wore those dreads, Black Kaiser.
Yeah, remember that? Ooh, remember that?
Like a Jamaican bandana or something?
Yeah.
It was Christian.
He was trying to be Tom Dagnino, but he came off as Black Kaiser.
Yeah.
Classic Tom Dagnino and his dreads. You know?
Yes.
Classic. I think all that Love Island time melted Kaiser's brain a bit for that moment.
Just a little bit.
But yeah, any final thoughts on the match, John?
Pretty rough time for Paul Oyama, unfortunately. He didn't seem to be beating himself up too much, which is good, especially because he's still got quite a few matches down the pipeline. This is not like a situation where it's like, oh, that's the last we saw of Paul this season. He's still got plenty.
He also won free-for-all as well.
He won free-for-all, and he also had a really strong start to the season as well. Like, there was a moment there I was like, oh, he could be back in, like, line for the singles belt easily sometime soon. And I think that it's important to keep in mind that context, right? Where it's like, all right, this is not, you know, Paul Oyama, he's solid in Inner Geekdom, but, like, I don't think any of us were predicting him to win this tournament. So it's sort of just like you know, he's a solid Inner Geekdom player, but this was not his belt to win. I think he's probably going to have a lot more success when we get into those singles and teams tournaments. And Ethan, God bless you. Good luck with Robert Parker. If Chance could beat him last year, you could beat him this year. I'm not saying it's impossible, but with the way Robert is playing right now at the moment, good luck, sir.
And they did mention as well, Lightning Time will play Final Exam in a number 1 contender match for the title. So
yeah.
So that's something to look forward to.
Well, Lightning Time's going to win that one probably, but yeah.
Sure, John. Sure.
I disagree.
Contessa, you have my back, right? Somebody, Justin, thank you. Justin, thank you. Somebody loves me.
We all love you, John.
Does anyone else? Thank you. I needed that. You and Brendan Fraser. Do y'all have anything else we want to say on this match before we bounce on over to our first singles tournament match we're going to be talking about?
No.
All right.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Do it. Soul, that's going to be on your shoulders to be talking about the match that I thought was going to be nearly impossible to call, and I got wrong anyway. So there. Griffin Newman of the Finstock Exchange going up against VideoDrew of the Dungeon.
So first things first, let's just talk about Griffin Newman taking off that jacket, having the full Orko jacket underneath with the Orko cup, talking about his gallbladder. That running bit throughout the entire match was hilarious. I just love both of these characters, VideoDrew, Griffin Newman, what they're doing. This is like peak showmanship right now. So definitely, like, if you're looking at what should I do with my character, or how should I input character work, if you're like trying to be part of the Schmoedown or in other fan leagues, like, look at this match, because both of them were great. But going round one, both get a perfect round. Griffin Newman misses the bonus. VideoDrew gets that up 9-8. So I'm going to throw it over to you, John. Thoughts on round one, and also like just their character work too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I picked VideoDrew to win this match. I'll start there. And one of the things that VideoDrew herself and many others, our show included, have been trying to tout as well over the past year is like, look, she is friggin' phenomenal with this character work. She's also scary good at this. Like, I know obviously when she first came in, there was a little bit of that learning curve. Obviously coming in with the dynamic of her and Tom, I think a lot of folks were immediately kind of half writing her off as a singles competitor. Those days are done, baby. Because she just took one of the two people that are in the highest contention for Rookie of the Year, or as far as singles goes, I think that's more fair to say. Because making it that, like saying it that way, makes it sound like I'm disregarding Thomas Harper, who immediately jumped to mind when I was like, "Oh, hold on, bud, hold on. We really can't call Rookie of the Year yet." But Griffey is in that conversation for sure, and she was beating him in round one at the very least, right? So that was something where I was immediately looking at that, and I was like, yeah, see, this is why I was saying, like, it's so hard to call this. That's part of why I didn't want to bet against VideoDrew, because that round one was proof where I was like, no, see, I'm telling you, she is scary. She has been studying. She knows her stuff. Then we get into round two, and she still knows her stuff. But one of the things that she also knows now is that PJ Campbell is just as scary, if not scarier, than Pennywise the Clown or Cujo the Dog or the pet zombies, like from Pet Sematary movies that I haven't watched, Soul.
Yes. And also, speaking of her round two, so she spins Pixar, goes, no, I like this, but I like a lot of other things. This is a good wheel for me. Gets Stephen King, is very excited about it because we know that she's very good with horror. There's a lot of horror movies in Stephen King's list there. So she's like, this is going to be great. And then she finds out these are very deep cut. I even what end credit song question. She got a question about a song that shows up in the end credits of a movie. That's crazy. Like, these are so good questions. Like, you gotta go, look at you, PJ. You're really stepping up this game here. Like, man. So it really is like competitors. Like, definitely if you're getting something that is like a Stephen King or just a singular person, like, things are gonna get deep cut, and you have to pay attention to some of these things that you didn't think you would have to. So she gets a total of 3 points, goes to multiple choice all 4 times. Griffin Newman misses the steal opportunity. So, Boggs, your thoughts on VideoDrew's round 2 performance?
Yeah, so she's just getting better and better every match, getting a perfect round here. Not the first time she's done that. But it was a really tough Stephen King thing. I think she did kind of maybe in hindsight know some of them based on multiple choice, so she could have got more potentially, but she's just getting better and better. But I gotta say, Griffin Newman, like, he just gets the assignment, like the whole shit. He just gets it. He gets the character. Absolute awesome player as well. Like, even if you notice that the context stuff that he gives with his answers, he does a whole bit like Kevin Smith style, every time he answers, but he gives you like characters' names and things like that when they didn't ask for it, or that character's, his name is blah blah, it's played by. So, oh damn, like, this guy really, really, really knows his stuff. He's deep cut stuff. And Jerry Miller in the chat there talking about some other rookies. So
King Khan is a great choice as well, Jeremy. You're correct.
I mean, you got Frankie Alvarez, you got Rager, Rick Riley, you got Paige, Amaru, you know, the list goes on. So, but yes, him and Horowitz right up there. But yeah, it was a really compelling match so far because, yeah, VideoDrew played awesome first round. And then obviously tables turned a little bit, 15-12, I believe, to Newman, end of round 2.
Yeah, Newman getting the 2000s as his spin and getting a total of 7 out of 8 points there. So yeah, 15-12 going in to round 3. And VideoDrew, she gets her Argo 2-pointer, and she gets the Whitney Houston Black Cinema 3-pointer there. And I just noticed not only is she getting better with the trivia, she's also getting better with the gameplay there. She's using her JTEs properly. She's knowing, again, even too, like going back to her round 2, knowing like, hey, I need to check down because I'm up. I want to make sure that I don't give points away to Griffin Newman. That you have Newman getting his Lock, Stock, and 2 Barrels 2-pointers, getting the Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and that little challenge there. So I want to first put my thoughts on it. I think, as you noticed earlier before, she was like, it's hard to think the right answer after you've gotten some answers wrong. So I think that challenge was more of Kaiser wanting to give her a little break because we don't have those timeout moments yet in the Schmoedown, and kind of just like pausing the game a little bit, letting her take a breather. He probably knew that challenge wasn't going to be upheld. So I want to know what your guys' thoughts on this challenge of round 3.
Yeah, I mean, at least from what I've been reading, that seems to be the prevailing knowledge, that it was like something of a timeout on that front, which makes sense. You know, again, obviously the legitimacy of the challenge, Close Encounters of the and A. I feel like that is something that's been challenged before. I didn't do my research because there's too many matches to look through to be like, oh, what exactly is the precedent? But I'm sure that has been a challenge that has come up before. And if I'm wrong, then whatever. But I also think you're absolutely correct that part of that was just like, let's take a breather, which I think is smart. I don't think it was a waste of a challenge. I think it was, like you were saying, yeah, a challenge that was not going to get upheld, but something that did just help to take the time to relax a little bit, just to kind of, yeah, keep her head in the game a little bit. I think especially with the Clancy Brown question, which Boggs was saying, where it's like, yeah, she knew some of them once she like heard the multiple choice. That was kind of the one where she was like, I just forgot that one dude's name. So yeah, definitely not like the most interesting challenge as far as like, oh, that makes sense, but more of just like a little bit of a buffer. I think that's fair.
And she gets her 5, and then Griffin Nooms answers his 5 so quickly. So Boggs, your thoughts on round 3, the challenge, the ending of Griffin Nooms just like answering so quickly.
Yeah, so the challenge, I was like, because as soon as he said it, I rewound it. He definitely said so there was no A anywhere. But it's in your wheelhouse, you know, to do. Like, he's probably learned that from Bateman. You know, some of the strategic elements that you can use to throw your opponent off, to delay, delay a potential, answering another question, compose yourself, whatever. So in that sense, yeah, sure. I mean, but, she pulled a good 5-pointer, I thought. Not very well-known movie. So, yeah, she done well there. But, yeah, Griffin Newman doesn't miss that many questions, So he missed his bonus, went multiple choice once, got his 2, 3, and 5. Like I said, he gives you the context stuff of each one as well. So he's a serious player. And the first 5-pointer he answered, shows kind of the level he's at. Hasn't had easy matches. I just think he's played really well. And I'm looking forward to his next match against Horowitz in New York, right?
Josh Horowitz versus Griffin Newman in New York City, people. Tickets are available, so definitely go check that out if you were in the New York area. But any more thoughts on this match, guys?
No, just that VideoDrew she went perfect in the first round. She hit a 2, 3, and 5 and kind of still lost. So it was a bit rough for her. But yeah, she's getting better. So, we'll see.
Yeah, and it is interesting to note as well, like obviously low point scoring second round for her, but she also didn't miss, like she only missed one of her questions and Griffin didn't steal it. So like good for her as well, Like definitely want to make sure we give her kudos, especially because this is unfortunately the last time that we're going to be talking about her probably this season. But yeah, and then Ryan Kramer is just so insistent in the chat of like, no, this was an easy question. All right, Ryan. All right, buddy. You've sent in your 5 different comments now about how that question was easy. We see you, Ryan. Yeah, and then I feel like I'm making fun of our commenters today. I don't know why I'm doing this, but Killer Contessa here. You guys crack me up about Ethan. He's a president of a studio, a screenwriter, and producer. So you're right. He should definitely be afraid of Robert Parker Magician. He should be in the geekdom division, Killer Contessa. Yeah, maybe if this was a movie production competition where it's like, all right, whichever one of you can produce a movie fastest, then maybe Robert should be scared of Ethan. But we're talking about a geek movie competition, Contessa. Of course, he should be afraid of Robert in that context, my friend.
Okay, can that be the next game show on TV? Like, who can produce a movie the fastest?
No. We follow around our 2 competitors for 3 to 5 years.
Right.
Oh gosh. Any other commenters we want to make fun of? No,
Okay.
is that it? All right. How about you calm down? All right, Contessa. All right, kid. Let's go ahead and move on to our 3rd and final match that we will be talking about for this week. A live match, which we love to see. At long last, more and more of these are coming back. And it's another singles tournament match of Ben Bateman of the Dungeon, who we were just talking about with some of his challenging tactics, which, hey, we'll also get to talk about more of. Going up against scary Perri Nemiroff, the #1 bracket buster of last year. And this was a fun match, gang. I mean, I'll toss it on over to you, Soul. Who are you kind of most expecting to see show up for this match? Were you more thinking, because I don't think you were on last week's episode, because that was obviously the Bar and Boggs B&B special. Yes. So I did kind of want to hear from you first off. Like, who are you really expecting to show up and really bring it for themselves and for the faction this match around?
So with me, I chose Perri going into this because I think people count her out so much, and she was the bracket buster last year, and she is really good, especially when she hits her categories in round 2. Like, watch out. But and Bateman, we've seen him choke a little bit, which he had a little bit of choke tendency in round 3. We'll get there a little later, but he did ultimately get the win. But come on, he's a great caliber player. He's missing some round 3 questions. You can't be doing that when you're trying to tout that you're the best of the best. So I also, just going into the match, watching, I was like, don't they provide whiteboards when it's a live in-person match? And he, of course, he had to bring his giant-ass whiteboard in.
I love that personally.
Which, honestly, I loved it. He brought it in. I was like, this is so Ben Bateman. I love it so much. I need him to just carry that whiteboard with him wherever he goes. I think also... Greg Alba of Real Rejects also has a giant whiteboard. So I just want to see anyone who owns a giant whiteboard, if they have a live match, bring the giant whiteboard to the live match.
I'm the opposite. I want to see competitors also still bringing in just their little post-its.
Yeah, JTE's like tiny whiteboard too.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, no, that's a very good point. And then Boggs also going into this match, kind of interesting to see setting off the tone again. Ben just jumping right back into his heel shenanigans, just immediately going off like, oh, hey, Perri, so excited to see you just this once, whatever. And then Perri just going like, shut up, Ben. Like, how excited were you for that dynamic as far as it carrying through the match?
Yeah, especially, I think Mark said it, like, as soon as I saw the walk-in, I thought, he looks like Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom, like at the start of the movie, the white blazer and the, red flower and stuff. In Club Obi-Wan. But yeah, that was the I just thought he, in a live format, in the tournament settings, comes into his own, and he'll just kind of eat that up. So I was super looking forward to see Bateman back in the studio saying, and, for Perri, she needed a strong round 1. I thought if she got above, let's say 6, and she hit, one of her strengths in round 2, you could be in trouble. And that's exactly what happened. But yeah, it's, obviously, we're going to cover round 1 now, but that Kevin Smith question in particular, I thought was pretty hard. They both use repeats on. I thought maybe Bateman was just stringing it out or something because he used a couple of repeats in round 1. So just the start that Perri needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Perri only missing 2 questions, whereas Ben missed 1. Perri missed that Mars attacks question. That was another one where, sort of like with the comparison we've talked about earlier in this episode as well, that was one where she was like, as soon as she heard it, she was like, ah, shoot, I'm
Yeah.
disappointed. Didn't get that. And yeah, the cop out question, that's one where it's like, if it's one of those things where it's like, if you've seen the movie poster, that's probably something where it's like, it'll immediately jog to mind. But considering that it's Kevin Smith, looking at his like history in the Schmoedown, they could have just answered cop, and that probably would have been fair, because it's like, yeah, name any other cop movie, you can't do it. Just cop should be enough. But yeah, 7-6 coming out of round 1. You're right, Bugs. Pretty close still, anybody's game. And then Perri kind of spinning, I guess technically, when we looked at it, 2 strengths, because she spun off of Mixed Bag, which when Ben got it later, she seemed to know all the answers of. But then when she respun it, she got new releases, something that she is very historically good at. This time around, gave her a little bit of trouble. She had to check down to multiple choice, and only getting a 5 out of a possible 8 points, because she was unable to hit that Mulan remake Emperor multiple choice, which Bateman was able to capitalize on and steal. But then Bateman also, when he got Mixed Bag, and you could see Perri just going like, yes, I know these questions. He kind of checked down once or twice to multiple choice as well for safety. Like, he was straight up for that one horror movie question. He was like, I'm not letting you get the steal. So he checked down to multiple choice. So he only got a 6 out of a possible 8 points. So it was a 3-point advantage to Bateman coming out of round 2, which, like, again, not great, but like not insurmountable, especially for like when you think about how Bateman is the like former singles champion, part of the highly touted Finstock Exchange last year, and now being one of the like crown jewels of the dungeon, versus Perri, someone that is pretty historically looked over by a large contingent of the fan base. Soul, what were your thoughts on this round 2?
I just wanted to give it up to Perri, because we've seen her previously. When she misses questions or questions that she knows or has to check down, she gets very mad at herself, and then she messes up further going on into the match. She didn't let that at all affect her this match. She was having a lot of fun. You can see her, and maybe it's because she was in person, and just her jumping up and down like each time, like she heard like one of Ben's questions, and like, I know that one, and being excited just about like knowing the answer to a movie trivia question. I was like, I absolutely love this, and this really showed why I love the movie trivia Schmoedown. Is like not even just like, oh, it's a question and answer and people like playing characters and stuff, but like people legitimately loving and being excited about the game. So I just want to like hats off to Perri there. She did great.
Absolutely. We love it when like competitors are just able to have fun remembering, because that's what this is supposed to be, right? I know it's the ultimate sport for movie fans, but also it's like, yeah, it's people remembering things from movies that they like. Like, that's also fun. We love it sometimes when it's just a little bit of fun. Speaking of, a movie that I really love, unironically, ever since I was a wee little boy, is Muppet Treasure Island. What I don't necessarily love so much is over semantic arguments about whether calling them the Muppets or the Muppet Treasure Island makes it any more or less correct, because they're confusing it with another Muppet movie. Boggs, I'll kind of bounce it on over to you. Yeah, Bateman, he did miss that 3-pointer, and that meant that we had an even tighter match than we even could have probably expected.
Yeah, so as well, what you're saying there, so Perri's kind of sweet way about her, I think that's reflected from Koi as well. I loved his energy this match. He just seemed to be like just like overly happy and excited to be there, smiling, like almost like an arm around her shoulder. Some players need that, right? And especially if we're playing against, like an S tier, someone who's potentially favored to win a tournament, and she's playing so good. I felt like watching Koi, like he genuinely believed that Perri was going to win that match. He was just giving her the hype that she needed and that positivity, to something to bounce off and, reassure, that kind of thing. So I did quite enjoy that. And yeah, she did great. She hit a 2, 3, and 5. That's all you can do. And in Ben's, obviously left it in Ben's court, and he missed the Wild Wild West, who started in that. I will say though, when he asked for the repeat, Ellis didn't repeat the character's name on the second repeat. He just said who starred alongside Will Smith in Wild Wild West. So maybe if he heard the character's name in the second repeat, he might have maybe pulled it potentially, to give him credit there. But even still, like, you should,
It's Salma
awful
Hayek.
movie. You shouldn't. Yeah, exactly. It was a big movie,
Sounds
right?
like
It wasn't
something
a
he
small
should have
movie.
saved his challenge for, huh?
Potentially. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, again, one of them. I didn't really want to say ridiculous challenge because obviously you could have said that about the previous match, but it's a time wasting thing. Throw your opponent off. A little bit of an intimidation factor, like, oh, let's just throw this into the works and see what happens. So I guess it was one of them. But yeah, we've seen so many players do it. Bateman's done it so many times. Schneider does it. It's a part of the game. So but yeah, glad it didn't get upheld. And then went into sudden death. He missed his 3, hit his 5, which is the obviously Wesley Snipes Jungle Fever question. And then we're going to sudden death, surprisingly. So really good from Perri, doing well. And I was glad he went to sudden death because this was was really entertaining all around. Like, one player was up, first round, second round, a bit even, and then the third round's a bit of drama there with the challenge. It was ticking a lot of boxes. This match was obviously a live setting, had the crowd, so I was enjoying it.
Had the real wheel.
Yeah,
real wheel. Oh yeah, and when it was this match, right, where it landed on opponent's choice, and they're like, "Yeah, see, it happens with the real wheel too, gang.
Yeah.
Stop getting angry at us about this opponent's choice." And you are right, Boggs. It's not the most egregious challenge we've ever heard, and obviously Christian has some fun about that at the end of the match as well. But yeah, it is one of those things where it just made me very happy to see it ruled the way that it was, because I've talked about how I always love this kind of like good faith of like, yeah, come on, like, let's not get too like overly like semantic.
That's what Koi's defense was, right? He was like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, that was, he had nothing else to say. He was like,
for as truthful as Koi was, like, during that post-game interview, he was just going fully in on Ben Bateman.
Yeah.
He was just like, what
this is getting tiring, Ben. Like,
what a moron. Which is very fun. We did go into sudden death. Not very far into it, granted, but it was, again, just one of those things where it just came down to, like, the first question happened to be in Ben's wheelhouse more than it was Perri's. And, again, you can't be mad about a match that goes into sudden death. I think that's kind of the number one takeaway. And I think this was the thing that really showcased, again, like, there are certain competitors where, like, even when they lose, like, you still have to, like, give them their props. And this is absolutely a thing for Perri where, even though she's not gone super far in either of the singles tournaments, like, she's left a heck of a mark, I would argue, in both. And it's a shame that we've only gotten to see so much of her. I believe we'll still be seeing her in the teams tournament, because I do think it's Press Room that will still be representing the Mercs in the upcoming teams tournament, which makes me happy because I'm always glad to see more Perri. But Sol, I will ask you this. With this win, 22-21 in favor of Ben Bateman, do we think that the Adam Witt memes will end? Do we think that this will be the moment where people are like, yeah, see, Adam Witt, he can win. He can win. He can, especially now that I guess they're setting up a storyline of Adam Witt. We all thought Winston's management job was in trouble early in the season, but is it perhaps Kaiser that will be upset as the faction head?
Yeah, I think Adam Witt was the most excited about that win for Ben Bateman. Like, he's just like, yes, I've won, finally. But with Ben Bateman, be excited that you won. Be happy that you're won, that you're going forward. But also, look at how close that was. And if I was Ben, I'd be thinking about, I almost lost that. And that would have looked bad on him, who he's touting he's one of the best players of all time. And I think when you play and let it this close with a player like Perri, which we all love, but not a lot of people hold in high regards, when it's this close, you have to really look at your game there. So, yeah, that was definitely an interesting thing. Let's see how Ben does going forward.
Let's do it, yeah. And then I'll kind of bounce this question over to you, Boggs. Obviously, now we have 2 contenders that are going to be continuing into this singles tournament. Obviously, we know what Griffin Newman is going to be facing in Josh Horowitz. I don't believe we know for sure who Ben will be playing, though I do see here in the chat pages called Out Bateman in her tweet for a round 2 match. So maybe. If you had to say, how far do you think these 2 gentlemen will be going into this tournament? Do you think either of them might be the ones that we'll see in the finals?
Possibly. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to Ben's next match. It would be great to be paid to someone like that, but yeah, I'm guessing because Ben's in LA, they'll maybe pitch him up against someone from LA, or I don't know 100%, but although they could fly, Page in, that'd be great. But yeah, like he is one of the favorites for the tournament, no doubt. So who's the other person that you said?
Griffin Newman, the other person who won.
For sure. Yeah, against Horowitz. I'd love to see them two go against each other. I think he called out Schneider. I don't believe Schneider's in the tournament, so unfortunately that won't happen. But Schneider's got his own match to worry about this week. But yeah. Definitely 100%. Bateman is a strong favorite to win this tournament.
Absolutely. Sounds to me like Paige is punching above her weight. Killer Contessa. That's how I know I can't respect you. That's how I know. You can't look at what Paige has been doing this season and just be like, Paige has got nothing.
We'll call them out, like there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with calling out, the people, former champs, people number one contender matches this season. Why not shoot your shot? And you never know. On the day, you just never know. You hit your strength. You have a good round one, and anything can happen. So you got to shoot your shot. Why not? Yeah, exactly. I'd rather people be like that, like call out the better players, or be brave, because it's brave to do that because you got to back up your talk. So I appreciate that.
There you go. Fair enough. Well, one thing that you all can do now, viewers, is you can call us out and ask us questions. Hey, don't call us out. We'll crumble and cry. But what you can do is ask us questions. Normally, we ask y'all to post some questions over in the Discord for our guests. But this week, it's just us three wonderful kids here. So you can actually ask us questions. Again, that's patreon.com/John Roca. You can join up there, post them in the Discord, ask us some questions. So I believe you might have those prepped on your end. But I also wanted to say, hey, gang, if you're not a member of the Patreon, you haven't been able to ask us a question there and you want to hear us answer something, don't forget you can send us those Streamlabs and Super Chats if you really have something you feel like we got to know. Like, I need you to respect me. Contessa, that's our dynamic, I guess. I don't know why you came in here so hot, but like now we're just disrespecting each other. What happened to us, huh?
You guys are the Tushka Boggs feud. I think that's over. This is the new feud.
I got my own yes. I got my own beef. Hell yeah. Boggs beef is done. Tushka, you got to beef with Soul now if you want.
Yeah, also
no beef with Soul. No beef.
He wants to beef with Soul. Yeah, just put it in the chat. Yeah, as well, just confirm if any patrons want to come in and ask us questions, that's cool as well. Anything you guys want to talk about, debate, any happenings this week, any predictions coming up, happy to talk about it because we'll play some trivia soon. I will whoop some little patrons for you guys, no problem. But we'll do some questions first.
Oh my gosh! See, now Boggs is getting on my level. I feel like I've been trying to get you two to be just as combative as me, and now I'm glad that it's happening. Now I'm pushing you. Today's the episode where we're mean. Yeah.
Well,
John, didn't you say a few weeks ago that you could never view me as being evil? I'm the sweet one here.
That was before I got sick. Now that I've gotten sick, I just think this whole world is friggin' twisted, dude. Oh, man. Oh, society. Oh, we're all bad. You down. Oh, I'm secretly Batman's brother. That's what happened. I still haven't seen Joker. I'm probably not going to.
Wow.
It's good. It's good. You should watch it. But,
here's my hot take, gang. I don't care about Batman villains if they're not fighting Batman. I don't care about a clown who does crime. Who cares about a clown that does some crime? No, the whole thing is that he does crime and then Batman stops him.
Not a Pennywise fan, I guess.
No, I'm not. Well, that one at least gets beat up by some kids. And Joker's just a clown who just hangs out. And then it's just like, yeah, fuck, I guess the clown did crime. No, you got to watch the clown get stopped at the crime.
Well, spoiler for you, John.
Little kids, whether it's a man looks like a bat. You can't just let these clowns run around. That's the whole point.
I think I was like that once upon a time, but, I grew up.
Oh, you've been Joker-filled?
No, just spoiler for you, John. Batman, Bruce Wayne is in the movie.
I know that.
Yeah.
I know that because still, for some reason, the trailer for Joker was like, watch Batman's parents get killed again. It's like, how many times do we gotta watch these poor billionaires get shot and their money not go back to the people. Come on.
I'd like to call out Outlaw Nation patron Logan, if he would like to come in. I know he doesn't come in that often, but he's my arch nemesis in the Outlaw Nation patron. Yeah, he's my Johnny Lawrence. He's my Johnny Lawrence of the Outlaw Nation. So if you want to come in, sir, feel free.
Oh man. Well, I guess I have no choice but to read this Killer Contessa comment because that's just the hole we're in. You disrespect of Ethan Erwin started it. Older competitors, so he must be dumb and watch out for younger kids. Not what I said. Learn to listen, but that's okay. Would you say that about Merle? If he was as inexperienced in the Inner Geekdom tournament and going up against someone who was as good at it as Robert Parker? Yeah. So there we go. There we go. This is the episode where I'm mean. This is it. This is my villain arc. Somebody get me a mask.
Look at what Colin is missing today.
I know. Oh, Colin. By the way, Colin's out on a job. He's working. He'll be back. Don't you worry. He's probably going to be gone for a little bit of time because he's got a lot of work lined up for himself, but that's okay. He'll be back soon. No need to worry.
We haven't murdered him yet.
Not yet, but now that I'm becoming a full villain, that might have to... I mean, we can't say that on camera. We for sure can't say that. We can't have any record of any one of us being like, yeah, let's murder. No. Oh, boy. Do you have any questions for... Oh, gosh. Well, gang, I don't think people want to ask us questions. I think they just want to hear us have to answer movie questions.
They just want you to be mean.
With them. They just want us to be mean. That might also be true. They just want to hear us be mean. What if we open up movie trivia and it's just
Let's do
Contessa?
it. Let's whoop some fools. Yeah.
What if it's just Contessa? That'll be kind of funny.
Everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome.
Everyone's
we'll play some trivia, right?
That's right.
Give it a couple of minutes.
Well, let's check in with producer Mike. Producer Mike, how are you feeling? Do you feel like we're ready to be able to hop into some movie trivia?
I think so. Come to me last, but I think so.
Oh. Fair enough. All right. Well,
I will tell the rules now as we wait for competitors to come in. So there'll be 15 questions in the singles, IG, and Star Wars realm. You must have a whiteboard or some writing material. It can be as big or as small as you would like. After asking a question, you'll get 15 seconds to write your answer down. When your name gets called, show and vocalize your answer. Good luck.
I'll say this, since we've talked so much about me making fun of Ethan Erwin in Inner Geekdom, I'm for sure going to lose the Inner Geekdom round. So if you're somebody who feels like you need some game tape of winning in Inner Geekdom, now's your chance to hop on because you're going to make me look like a fool for sure.
Well, they're all interspersed, so we'll just see you miss them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
in between stuff.
Interesting.
I have to use like a notebook, so I also have
Guys,
to,
before we get started with the trivia, Justin Toner's actually here, and once we're gonna pop
bring him in.
Sure.
Bring him in.
Whatever he wants to do.
How you doing? How's it going, Justin?
Hey. Are you muted?
Oh, Justin,
Nope,
can you hear us?
there we go.
No, you good.
Nice. How's it going?
Hi. I'm good.
Wonderful.
I'm ready to answer questions. I got my whiteboard.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Do you have any questions for us before we while we wait for people to come on?
Let's see. Is there anybody that you think, as far as like in the singles tournament, that hasn't been talked about that people should look out for? As far as like who could be dangerous, as far as like pulling off an upset, because we saw Perri almost pull off the upset against Bateman.
Oh yeah. There's going to be an upset coming. By the way, is that who is that? Is that Darren?
Darren, all the way from the UK.
How's it going,
Time no
Darren?
see.
Hello.
He
Looking good.
lives.
Oh no, we got two Brits on now.
What do you mean? Oh no.
I didn't say that. I did not say that. I might be a villain, but I'm fine with the Brits. I want that on record.
Justin, to answer your question, I'd say some of the Finstock boys. Khan. Ty.
That's a good pick.
Also, usual suspects. Drew McQueenie, Lishana Miller, who's playing David Del Rio. Well, I like that much.
Yeah.
Good matchup for Del Rio. like his last two matches, I think he's only played a couple of matches last 2 seasons, but he's pretty much gone perfect. I think he went sudden death with Chance, right? And his last match, he won. So I'd say him. Yeah, he's a bit of a underdog. What about you?
I think Jacoby Bancroft could potentially be a spoiler. It's definitely. I think a lot of the upset factor is going to depend on how the bracket looks, which obviously, we can't see right now just because of the pains of scheduling. We totally get that, Christian. Don't you worry. Take as long as you need to for your mental health. But yeah, I mean, like if depending on who Jacoby is paired up against, I feel like he could easily like kind of blaze a path up to the top 4, because I do feel like it's oftentimes the rookies that get the most kind of upset
because seeding,
because they're the folks that are often the most underlooked just because they don't have that game tape yet. So yeah, I think Jacoby's a potential good choice.
No, I was going to say Mike, but what he has there, Mount Sexy, is his name in the private chat. Okay, sure. Do we have anyone else that wants to come in yet?
Oh, Jeremy Miller in the chat. Nick Harley versus Oyama, since he's coming off his IG loss against Ethan. Interesting. I don't know. I still have a fair amount of faith in Oyama in singles, like I was saying, because like I still feel like that's so much of his bread and butter, but man, Nick Harley, that's a fair choice. That's a fair choice. Killer Contessa saying me, you know what, Killer Contessa? I wish you luck. I hope you do. See, and that's the end of my villain arc. We tied it all up together in a bow.
Look at that. It's a full movie
next week.
A full movie, all in one, a full story arc.
Has anyone?
Not even Adam Sandler could be that kind of timing.
Has anyone heard what other matches are being played today at the Cantina? Not looking for spoilers, just anything that was announced. I don't think so. If I had to guess, it's probably one other match in the singles tournament, similar to what they did with the Erwin Merle match, just because of the sheer number of matches and the fact that I think the Cantina setup isn't conducive to any teams matches.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a singles tournament match, though. I guess hypothetically,
I believe Chance against Moose Haas is being filmed today.
Oh, there you go. That would make sense though, because then you get the double corruption header, which that's just solid planning. That's just that's how you get as many competitors in and out as quickly.
They're enjoying.
Brian Brawler. I'm not gonna say what he wrote, but look at what John.
Brian
you can do it. You're a villain today.
Behave, sir. Behave now.
Bryant Brawler, Merle is an ignoramus. My goodness. Bryant Brawler heard that I'm done with my beef with Contessa, and then Bryant said, no, now it's my turn. Now I want to leave. My goodness. Well, Soul, I think it might be time for us to do
let's do it.
Time for trivia. Mike, are you joining us?
No, I think he's not.
Okay, so
he can come in.
It's a boys' match today.
Let's do it.
Now, in the first category is scores and soundtracks. Who sang the theme song to the 1980 hit comedy 9 to 5?
Oh.
I love this movie.
It's a good movie. I'm loving the beer, John. Thank you so much, Bryant. I was just telling the gang, like,
4,
it's re-quarantine beer.
2, 1. So we're going to go John first.
Co-star of the film, Dolly Parton.
That is correct. Boggs.
Dolly Parton.
Lucky Egg.
I regularly stumble in the kitchen. Dolly Parton.
And then the Yankee, using their Patreon names.
Dolly Parton.
Yes, that is correct. Now in the category of MCU. In Captain America Civil War, what delivery company does Stan Lee work for in his cameo? Tony Stank. I got a package for Tony Stank. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boggs.
Put FedEx.
That is correct. Lucky Egg.
UPS.
Incorrect. Yankee.
Didn't have that. I can remember.
And John.
I managed to pull FedEx right at the end there.
There you
Just
go.
someone needs to tell John it's not November. He can shave. I'll probably shave soon, so don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Okay. Next question is in the category of the Phantom Menace. What reason did Jar Jar Binks give Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi for being banished from the Gungan clan?
Easy. Simple.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lucky egg.
I'm how you say clumsy.
That is correct. And Justin.
Misa clumsy.
Correct. And John.
I wrote arson.
That would be a different movie. And Boggs.
I didn't actually have it. I wrote something else.
So arson was incorrect. All right. Well, I'll have to.
Tied
rewatch
game
that
right
one.
now. Tied game. In biopics. Who plays Martin Luther King Jr. in the 2014 biopic Selma? Five,
No, gonna have to excuse
Four.
spelling on this one.
3, 2, 1. Justin.
David Oyelowo? What was
That
pronounced
is
his last
correct. And we'll go with John.
David Oyelowo as well.
That is correct. Boggs.
David Oyelowo.
That is correct. And Lucky Egg.
In my film, it's a really, really well TH Cuba Gooding Jr.
Brian Broyle in the chat. Wow. Anyway, carry on.
I'm
Ryan
yet to see
Kramer.
that film.
Arson was Darth Jar Jar. LOL. Now we're going to Back to the Future. How much power does it take to fuel the flux capacitor in the DeLorean in Back to the Future?
Can I get a repeat of the question?
Yes, you can. How much in Back to the Future? How much power does it take to fuel the flux capacitor in the DeLorean in Back to the Future? John's pondering.
I'm just
5.
now I've gotten so many.
They've asked this so many times as well.
3, 2, 1. Is it John's turn? I'm just gonna say it's John's turn.
Sure, that sounds correct. 1.21 gigawatts.
That is correct. Boggs.
No, I said 4 gigawatts.
Oh no.
I don't know why I said 4.
Hey, Darren.
No idea, so I went 50,000 joules.
Yankee.
1.21 gigawatts.
That's correct. Now in the category of The Last Jedi. What is the name of the creature who Luke extracts green milk from in The Last Jedi?
Oh, damn.
Simple.
So simple. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boggs.
I don't know it, to be honest. No clue.
And Lucky Egg.
His name is Jeff.
That is incorrect. And Justin.
I know it's wrong. I wanted to write something up.
That is incorrect. And John.
George Lucas.
That is incorrect and hilarious. It's Tala Siren.
Damn. Tough.
In the
These are all
category-
5 pointers, by the way, guys. Sorry, I forgot to mention.
That was
in the
definitely
category of
That was a good one.
comedies. Harrison Ford appears as a character named Mac Tannen in what 2013 Will Ferrell movie? Five, 4, 3, 2.
Darren's got this. Darren's got it.
Darren
Semi-pro?
is incorrect.
Oh.
Justin,
Oh, yeah.
I put Step Brothers.
that is incorrect. John,
I wrote Anchorman 2 Legend Continues, I think is the
that
title.
is correct. And Bugs,
Of course.
that is correct.
Anchorman.
Oh, it's
Now,
so obvious
this-
now.
This is Bog's favorite category, Harry Potter.
Oh,
Mm.
gonna need some help with this one.
In
All right,
Harry
buddy.
Potter, in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, What is the name of the girl who tried to get Harry to eat a box of chocolates with love potion in it?
So that's the third time I've heard this question this week, and I still don't know the answer.
Boggs, I'll give you this answer if
5,
you give me 30 of your
4,
points for picks of the week.
2, 1. Yankee.
I don't know. Hazel is my wild guess.
That is incorrect, John.
Ron Weasley.
That is incorrect. He does eat the box of chocolate, but
Yes, that's why I
meant for
wrote
Harry. Boggs.
As is Sarah. I don't know.
That is incorrect. And Darren.
Is it Ramilda Vane?
That is correct.
Ah.
No!
Hey, Darren.
It was all. It was all.
I've used Ramilda Vane about 4 times in matches recently, and finally it worked. The actress is getting a really nice email tonight.
All right. Now we have in Rogue One. In Rogue One, Cassian tells Jyn that Chirrut and Baze used to be what?
I'm going to look forward to
5,
John's answer.
4, 3.
Have you seen
2.
Rogue One, John?
What? He is
I have.
currently in the lead right now. But I think it's. Let's just go to John. Yeah.
I wrote Step Brothers.
That is incorrect. Boggs.
Guardians of the Worlds.
That is correct. And Darren.
Guardians of the Worlds.
That is correct. And Yankee.
Yes, Guardians of the Wills.
I thought that was a Marvel movie, not a Star Wars movie.
I just got 2 questions right in a row. I'm retiring.
Takeover.
I should have
Now-
retired maybe.
Now in sports. What NBA All-Star player stars as the titular legendary street baller in 2018's Uncle Drew? It's actually a pretty good movie. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boggs.
LeBron James, no clue.
That is incorrect. Darren.
Kyrie Irving.
That is correct.
Oh my God.
Justin.
I don't remember. Damn it.
And John.
I wrote Shaquille O'Neal.
He is in the movie.
I knew he was in the movie.
I must admit, it is a very fun movie.
And just right there, we're tied up right now.
Wow.
Oh, holy cow.
Now in Middle Earth. In The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, Gandalf suggests to Thorin that Bilbo should be hired as the company's what? Let's see if Darren can keep his streak.
As long as a Brit wins, I'll be happy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Darren.
I put burglar.
That is correct. And Justin.
Yes, burglar.
That is correct. John.
I wrote Waterboy.
That is incorrect. And Boggs.
Burglar.
That is correct. Oh, I think Tushka's putting in some Boggs beef still. Spoiler alert, the Brits lose.
Hey,
Okay, I apologize. I had to run out for a quick work emergency. So if somebody was trying to get in and did not get in, please try to come in again. I will let you in.
there you go.
Perfect. There we go. Now we have Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
What is the name of the clone captain that was tasked with preparing Emperor Palpatine's shuttle to Mustafar? It's somewhere in the back of Boggs' brain. 5, 4.
You don't think it's in my brain, too?
It might be. 1. And we're going to go Yankee.
You have to see it, John, for
I'm
it to
taking
be
a
in your brain.
guess. Commander Cody.
That is incorrect.
Ah.
John.
I wrote Daniel.
That is incorrect. Boggs.
I said Cody as well.
Incorrect. And Darren.
I also said Cody.
Incorrect. It's KG.
Ah,
Didn't
Yeah,
know that.
Cody. Yeah, that's what we said. Correct answer to the land.
What movie was that in again?
That was in Revenge of the
A
Sith.
Star Wars.
Now in Action Adventure. What is the subtitle to the third John Wick film? John went from being in the lead to now he's the one in last
Losing.
place. 5.
Again?
3.
It just attracts to you, John. For some reason, I don't know.
John.
Poor guy.
Parabellum.
That is correct. And
Back on
Boggs.
the board.
Parabellum.
Correct. And Darren.
Parabellum.
Correct. And Yankee.
Parabellum.
Correct. Points all
Thank God,
around.
that's the only one they give a name to.
Now,
That's
I
what I was trying to
apologize.
remember, yeah.
I apologize for this one, Darren. It's in the DCEU.
I'm not too bad because that's where I actually did well. So
Yes, he did.
In the
shame on
film?
you. Shame.
In the film Wonder Woman, what does Diana tell the vendor after trying ice cream for the first time? I like Tushka's John Wick, A Dog's Revenge. 5, 4.
Did I get a read?
Yes.
Or is it over here?
In the category DCEU. In the film Wonder Woman, what does Diana tell the vendor after trying ice cream for the first time? I like Ryan Kramer's All Out of Wicks.
Yeah, that's what she says.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boggs.
I don't know. I no clue. I just put what's for anything else for dessert. I don't know.
Darren.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
That is incorrect. Justin.
Congratulations on making it.
Nope. And John.
Oh.
Pretty good.
You should be very proud.
Oh, I knew it was like
That-
it was a compliment. I couldn't remember what it was.
Sounds like
That is so something
got
she
it.
would say.
the most, right?
She thought that, like, he made it.
Sure.
Right now, the score is currently 6 to 7 to 7 to 7, with
Ooh.
John with the 6.
Oh, wow.
So let's see.
Gang,
This
you
last
can all
question-
miss this one, and we can have a happy ending, I swear to Christ.
It is in A New Hope.
Okay.
How many meters wide was the Death Star's terminal exhaust port that Luke fired 2 torpedoes into to destroy the Death Star?
I didn't even know they did millimeters in Star Wars.
Well, it's meters. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going to go with Darren.
8.
That is incorrect. And we'll go Yankee.
I used to bullseye womp rats with my T16. They weren't much bigger than 5 meters.
That is incorrect.
Oh, wrong.
That was a lot of
Done.
exposition for a wrong answer, Justin.
Is it? I think I. Oh,
I wrote 121.
nah.
That is very wrong, and Boggs for the win.
For the win,
Yes.
I think it's 2.
That is correct, and your winner
Oh,
today is
wow.
Boggs.
You Yellow Nation
Ah,
fool!
damn.
I told you.
I changed my answer from 2 to
Come on.
8.
Bugs
Oh.
called his shot.
Well,
Bugs
okay.
called
Alright.
his shot. Wow.
Oh.
Well,
on a Star
look
Wars
again.
Changed my
question.
answer.
How about that?
Look at gas, guys. Look at
Congratulations to Darren and Justin for making it heck close. Killer Contessa and Maria, our apologies for not being able to bring you on. Like Mike said, he was just unable to bring you on at that current point in time. Honestly, just go ahead, drop how many you got right in the chat. We'll believe you. Like Canada Rocks, who says he got 50. It was only 50 questions, but I believe him. I believe him that he probably
No, of
did
course.
get 50
Of course, he
points.
says he got them all right.
But all that really matters is that Boggs is the winner of the televised match. Boggs happened to actually get that W off. So everybody, congrats.
Shout out to all the Brits out there.
That
That's
I
for you.
continue to lose. That's the important narrative. Is I just continue to rack up L's.
I'm
Mike,
telling you,
I don't know
for
if
the
we're-
first half of it, John was in the lead, like against everyone else, and I was just like, John's gonna win this.
Listen, once it airs, I don't know when it does, but watch I did a trivia match against Colin. Watch that match. Watch that one because that's an interesting match as well. Yeah, Mike. I don't know if you're on, but I actually we're not going to play too much of it because we don't want to make this too long of a show. But I have a little game I've cooked up as well that I was gonna at the very least make Soul and Boggs play. Darren and Justin, you're more than welcome to stick around for this game as well. This is a different kind of little game. To those of you who have been watching our show for a minute now and have noticed, we've had a couple episodes now where it's just been like 2 hosts at a time, and folks have been dropping different potential couple names for us. We had Sogs for a minute, which was Soul and Boggs. We had B&B or Bags for me and Boggs. And obviously, we've got a teams tournament coming up with some potential new teams. So I thought what might be a fun game to play is I'm going to give each of you 2 Schmoedown competitors, and you're going to have 10 seconds to come up with a new team name for them. You're going to have 10
So
seconds.
we all get different people.
No, you all get the same people.
Ah,
But you're each going to have to come up with a different name, and I get to decide if any of you win or if the name I come up with wins. Are you all ready?
Awesome. My
That does not
whiteboard's
sound-
over
that
there.
does not
So
sound like that does not sound like a biased game that you've set up yourself to win at all.
Oh, it's 100% a biased game because I need biased games to win anything on this show, Darren, and you
That's
should
how you
know
win,
this
yeah.
by now. I can't win trivia. I can't win or match picks. I have to win something. So this is the arbitrary game I get to win. I'm a host. But are you all ready? Because I have my little
Ready.
random
Yes, sir.
name picker all ready to go.
Sure.
All right.
Okie
We'll
dokie.
be terrible
Let's
at this,
see.
but let's go.
Yeah.
So your 2 competitors are Mark Yodi Riley and Lady Justice Marisol McKee. You have 10 seconds. Go. Come up with a name for Yodi, which is like Yoda, and Lady Justice, which is like if Yoda was a lady in a way. And
So, yeah.
time. All right. Soul, what name did you come up with?
Because she's about justice, and because he's Yodi like Yoda, I'm going with the Jedi Council.
Jedi Council, sure. All right, Boggs, what do you have?
I'll put Justice for Jedis.
Justice for Jedis. All right,
Yeah.
there you go. Well, it's only 2 people, but yeah, I guess you can use different numbers, sure.
Yeah.
Darren, what do you have?
I came up with Blind Justice, but that was just using Marisol's names. I couldn't think of anything to go with it.
Yeah, that's fair. And then Justin, what do you have?
I put down like Knights of Justice.
Knights of Justice, gotcha. Well, I didn't think of anything, which I don't have to. I could still win this game, but I'm going to give 1 point to Soul. I'm going to give 1 point to Soul, and then I realized the problem of doing this is now I have to keep score, which is nonsense.
Yes, you are the
but
host. Sure.
whatever. All right, Soul's got 1 point. The next 2 names are going to be Major Thomas Harper and Jesse the Jackal Swift. 10 seconds starting now. This is another fun one. Colin was talking about his All-Star Weekend. What if we just make random competitors from random factions team up? That could be fun. 3, 2, 1, stop. All right, Bugs, what do you have?
Swifty X-Wings.
Swifty X. Okay, sure. Little wordy.
He likes X-Wings.
Little
It's the thing.
Okay, totally. Darren, what do you have?
Major X.
Major X. I kind of like that. Justin, what do you have?
I like something out of left field, the hyenas.
The hyenas. All right. Fair enough. And then Soul, what do you have?
Major Swifty.
Major Swifty. All right. Well, the correct answer was, of course, Wolf from Star Trek. No, from Star Fox. Fuck. See, now I definitely don't get any points. Aaron's gonna get a point for that one. As we get our next gaggle of names up on the board. This one's gonna be Felix Money Morit and the Cobra Chance Ellison. Time starts now. What the star F are you saying, John? This is a pretty good joke. But Tushka, I'm gonna have to give you -4 points. Because that's sometimes just the way I get. This is my game. I get to do it.
He also misspelled your name, too.
Wow, that's -8 easily. You're my new rival. All right, that's enough time. Absolutely, that's enough time. Darren, what do you have?
No money, no chance.
Nice.
Wow, there you
Oh,
go.
wow.
It's like, what's that quote? Like, what's that old joke that people like? We used to have Bob Hope, and we used to have, that was
No
the joke
hope.
before.
Yeah.
Exactly. Justin,
thought
what do
you
you
were saying that.
have?
Viper Incorporated.
Viper Incorporated. Ooh, that's
Ooh.
hot. Soul, what do you have?
Mo money, mo cobras.
Sure. All right. And then what do you
That's
have?
where
Bob?
my head went.
Me, I put money chances, but I like kind of rocks. Cobra and Cash.
Cobra and Cat. That one's pretty good.
Yeah,
That
but
one's
he's
pretty
not
good.
in the game. He's not in
He's
the game.
not in the game, but I am going to give Canada Rocks 50 points just so that way we have a nice little bit of synergy. Justin, I'm going to go ahead and give
You
you.
do realize that's going to hurt his ego so badly.
Oh,
I get it. That said, I liked mine, which was Cobra Command. Just
Ooh,
because I
that's
thought
good.
that one was fun. But I get to pick how many points I get in any given round. And I'm not going to tell you how
Brian
many
Brawler.
I have.
Who's getting fined 200 points? Which person?
Probably everyone. We all deserved it at one point in time. All right, next two competitors are Brother Lomas and Ben the Bandit Goddard. You're going to have 15 points starting now. All right, as we think about this one. That's a tough one, isn't it? Brother Lomas, he's a man of God. Ben Goddard, he streams on Twitch. Does God care about Twitch? We'll never know for sure. That's enough time. Soul, we'll start with you. What do you have?
I'm going with Saint Bandit.
Saint Bandit. That's pretty good. Boggs, what do you have?
Brother Bandits.
Brother Bandits. That makes sense. Darren, what do you have?
We're literally the same, but with the Brothers Bandit.
The Brothers Bandit. All right, fair enough. And then Justin, what do you have?
Family Thieves.
Family Seeds.
I
All right.
like Ryan Kramer's Redemption.
Family Thieves.
Well, of course, the correct answer was the
I like
2010 film The Town. But I'm going to go ahead and give this one to Soul. So that's 2 points now for Soul as we bounce on over to our next two competitors.
It was almost as good as that Affleck film we did in the 90s called was it Phantoms?
I don't remember. That's another point to you in the movie trivia round, though. So I guess now you're Okay, yeah, Mike's saying things got that's okay. Don't worry about it, Mike. Hey,
Bandit
Mike,
of Souls. I like that, Jeremy Miller. I like it.
Bandits of Souls. Wow, dramatic. Speaking of, we have another dramatic pairing. This one could shake things up. Janine the Machine and Lightning Liz Shannon Miller. Quite the combo. 10 seconds starting now. I'm going to be honest, gang. I've been giving them like 15 seconds. I threw out 10 too early. I think I started by saying 5. We're just having a lot of fun. We're having fun. Don't get mad at me. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Darren, I'm cutting to you. What do you have?
Miller Machine.
Miller Machine. All right. Justin, what do you have?
Mecha Voltage.
Mecha Voltage. All right. What do you have, Soul?
Mine is absolute shit. Shocking Robots.
That's kind of fun. And then Boggs, what do you have?
If I don't win this, so I said TLSM, as in T1000, TLSM, because the machine. TLSM.
I mean, I haven't given you any points, so I will give you a point for that.
Thank you.
I was thinking of going Miller Light, because that to me.
Ooh, I like
fun,
it.
right? Cans are kind of metal. That's machine-ish.
Yeah, but you can't use it because you just get dinged on advertising.
Oh, that's true. And so now I'm definitely gonna have to find myself 200 points as well. All right,
if you write LIGHT, like lightning, like
there we go. See that's why Sol runs the ship. You see,
that's why. Oh,
we come up with silly ideas and then she turns them into a good idea for us.
That's skill.
This one's gonna be fun, gang. We have Alex the Demon Damon and Jader the Hurricane Paramo. Now go ahead. Come up with your names for what this team could possibly be called. I'm going to go ahead and get my pick out of the way.
If you're from the 305, you know.
Oh, fair enough. Well, I'm not, Soul, and I'm the judge, so it's interesting that you would make that the deciding factor of your name, but we're just going to go ahead and roll with it. Justin, what do you have?
The Demonic Storm.
Demonic Storm. All right, Soul, what do you have?
The most devastating hurricane to ever hit Miami. Hurricane Andrew.
There you go. Damn. Fair enough. Boggs, what do you have?
I said hurricanes explained.
Hurricane.
Right? That's good, right?
Snap.
Again.
Wow.
Hurricane
Oh, you did.
explained. Wow.
See?
Wow.
Brits thinking like me.
Wow. That's a
Yeah,
point,
see?
Darren.
Great
and
minds.
Boggs.
Do
Great
people in England know what hurricanes are?
Yeah, we have what's called 50
No.
miles per wind, so someone's roof gets blown off, and that's a hurricane.
There you go. I still
the
contend
one-
that
just
the
the one
correct
house.
answer- Technically, the correct answer to this question was Sharknado, but you all did very well, particularly Boggs and Darren, for getting on the same wavelength there.
See?
This one is going to be, that's the same goddamn pairing that you just gave me last time. commentpicker.com/random-name-picker.php. What the hell? All right. That one I don't like.
Shame that-
I didn't like the two that it gave me there, so I'm just going ahead with a different one. Oh, wow. We got
Who got
some
the
wordy
point,
ones
though?
here, gang. We got
Who
some
got the
wordy
point
ones.
for the last one?
Me, obviously.
Oh, okay.
No, I said Boggs and
Oh,
Darren.
Stephen
They
Check.
got tied.
There you go.
Yeah, so right now
Yeah,
it's Soul has
don't have
2,
anyway.
Boggs has 2, Darren has 2, Justin has 1, but I'm excited to see what he puts with this one. I, of course, have
There
35.
you go. Look, it's all that. Look.
There we
Good
go.
man.
He gave himself
Man.
10 million points that time, remember? Yeah.
Something
That's why
like
he's
that.
winning.
All right. And then we're going to go with this one. Andrew the Hunter Dimolanta and Josh the Carpathian Horowitz. This one I'll give you 7 more seconds because these are the longest names I think they could have come up with. Is Carpathian a different word for hunter? That's, I think, going to be kind of the biggest question because I'll be honest, how many of us know what they... Hey, Brennan, how you doing?
Hey. Hello.
Hey, I have a question for you, Brennan. If you had to pick a team name for Andrew the Hunter Dimolanta and Josh the Carpathian Horowitz, what would you choose?
Vampire Hunter D.
Vampire
There
Hunter.
you go. All right. I dig it. I dig it. Darren, what about you?
1 second. Go to somebody else.
All right, Justin.
Barbarian
Barbarian
bounty
bounty hunters. All right. All right. I dig it. Soul, what do you have?
Hunting for Schmoebots.
Hunting for Schmoebots. All right. Boggs, what do you have?
I said press room hunters.
Press from Hunt. I don't know about that one. I'm gonna have to give that one to Justin for sure. And hello, who is that there at the bottom of the screen? I don't know
That's
if I've met you
Logan.
before. How's it going?
That's
Hello,
Boggs'
Logan.
nemesis,
Yes,
Logan.
this is my Johnny Lawrence. How you doing, Logan?
Oh, how about that? How about that?
Okay.
Oh, and he's there
Am I good?
you go. Yeah,
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 yeah.
how's it going?
Is
Hey, everybody. I
Doing
want to
good.
apologize one more time. So I'm running the stream at work right now,
you're-
and stuff has been hitting the fan at the worst possible times. So specifically to Contessa and Logan, sorry I got you so late. I apologize.
no, you're good.
Been completely hectic here. And so if I missed you, we will make it up to you somehow next time. I'm good at this point the rest of the show, but if I step off again and I miss somebody again, I apologize.
It's all good, buddy.
All good, man.
I
Nothing personal.
think we're gonna be doing 3 more rounds of this little game. So we got some big chances for points on the board, gang. I'm very excited to see what the random name generator. I wish it was just a little bit faster. That's really my thing, and that has nothing to do with anyone.
It
but
just
this
leads you to
website.
vamp.
It just leads me to vamp, but I don't have to do it anymore because we have our next pairing: Sassy Stacey Howard and Rick the Rager Radis. Those are your options. Y'all now have 15 seconds to come up with a team name for Sassy Stacey Howard and Rick the Rager Radis.
I'm winning this one. Sorry. It's too good.
Oh, wow. Boggs
Too
is
good.
feeling
Wow,
confident.
calling
He
his
doesn't
shot
understand.
again.
I mean, it worked for him last time, but now, Boggs, I'm going to start with you. Really put you on
Yeah.
heat, on ice.
I
What you
have
got?
one for this.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Well, Boggs, I'm still starting with you.
No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Triple sassy.
Triple Sassy. All right. Okay. Fair enough. Brennan, what do you have?
Sassy Spirilla.
Sassy Spirilla. All right. All right. Logan, what do you have?
I had the Sassy Rangers or Rangers.
Sassy Ragers.
that.
All right. All right. Mike, what do you have?
Close to his, I have Raging Sass.
Raging Sass. All right. Fair enough. Soul, what do you have?
Pretty close. I got Sassy Rage.
Sassy Rage. All right. There you go. Darren, what do you have?
Pull this out of dressing gown.
Oh, my goodness.
If anyone knows Rager and Howard's ability to pull questions, you'll get the reference.
Sure.
Fair enough. And then, Justin, what do you have?
Opinionated Rangers.
Opinionated Ranger, sure.
Ooh.
I'm going to give it to Mike just because he needs something. He needs something I think, for today. God bless him. I chose, of course, the film House Bunny. I think they would just be called the House Bunnies. Mike, I love you to death. Yeah, 1 point. That is how many you have. Isn't that interesting? Dang, I'm mean today. Who let me get so mean on Maine? Who let me do that? Oh,
Tough time.
oh, this is going to be very fun. I'm very excited to see what y'all have for this. We have PG, Peggy Gubbins, and VideoDrew. Y'all now have 15 seconds to come up with a team name for these two. And I'm very excited to see what comes of this one. And you have 3 seconds just in case you're still thinking. And now it's done. And now it's over. Logan, what do you have?
I couldn't think of one. That one was tough for me.
Fair enough. No worries. Soul, what do you have?
It fits for both of them if you think about it, even though you're going to say it's only going for one. Parental guidance. You need parental guidance.
Sure. All right. What do you have, Boggs?
I have the same as Jerry Miller in the chat. Rated PG.
Rated PG. There you go. Makes sense. Brennan, what do you have?
PG-13.
PG-13. All right. I dig it. Darren, what do you have?
Video killed the Finstock Exchange.
Oh, wow. Goodness gracious. You think this is a team that is specifically built to just take down a faction? I kind of dig that. I dig that a lot. Justin, what do you have?
Rated PG-13.
Rated PG-13. All right. I dig it. I was thinking personally just calling them straight up the Lion Kings. I thought that was good, but I straight up I couldn't contain my excitement at Darren's answer. So that's, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Darren, I believe that's 3 points to you. Justin, Boggs, Soul tied up at 2.
Yeah.
Logan and Brennan still very new. So I think I've only asked y'all like 2 questions so far total. And then Mike with 1, but he also flipped me off. So I'm actually going to, maybe I'll give that point to me later.
And in the lead with 10 million points is you.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. That also
maybe this is the winner take all for this next one.
This one's going to be worth 17 points. So Malcolm asked me who's winning. The answer to who's winning is whoever's going to win this next one.
This is the show where the points don't matter.
Right. Exactly.
That's also not copyrighted. It's fine.
Absolutely not.
That's
All
a
right.
British show.
Here we go, gang. This is your final question. This is Dangerous, Dan Merle, and Jessica, the Sleeper Schloth. Going to give you 20
of course, playing
seconds.
each other in the singles tournament.
Exactly. And that's what made
You
this
knew
such
that, didn't you, John?
perfect question for John to
Wow,
ask.
she must be so excited.
I hope I
No, actually, that came out so wrong. Sorry.
No, I
know Jess. So she's like, wow.
Jess is going to hate you, Darren.
That Darren, is John rubbing off on you? Are you becoming mean by being next to John? And 2, that your name is the Dead Egg. I love it.
Yes.
You know.
I'm full of references tonight, and one of us from England has to be a heel, I suppose.
Sure.
Fair enough. All right. With this final round, Soul, what do you have?
Sleeper Agent.
Sleeper Agent. That's good. Boggs, what do you have?
I put Danger Sloth, but I really like Ryan's one in the chat, Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Nice. Brennan, what do you have?
The Dangers of Narcolepsy.
The Dangers of Narcolepsy. That was actually eerily close to mine, which was Sleep Paralysis Demons. Very nice. All right, Darren, what do you have?
Danger Sloth.
Danger Sloth. That's
So
good.
we think the same.
Justin, what do you have?
Deadly Nightmares.
Ooh.
Deadly Nightmares. There you go. Logan, what do you have?
Well, might as well join the party. I have the dangerous sleeping sloths.
The dangerous sleeping sloths. I like
Well,
that.
what?
It
You
rolls
know,
off the tongue,
honestly,
Logan. It rolls off the tongue.
Tushka's asking. It's the beard. It lets the hate rise from within.
Right, that's right.
Okay,
This is
bro,
actually where
breathe.
all my kindness is gone. It's just at all my dead ends in my friggin' beard. Well, you know what, gang? Everyone was really eerily similar in their answers, and I like all of you. And I don't want my villain arc to continue into next week. So I'm gonna say everyone gets 17 points, and I'll even
So
give
that means
Logan and
Darren
Brennan
wins.
19
Yeah,
points.
that's what I was-
So it's
Yay!
everybody tied up at second
Two
place.
Brits win
under
both
me,
games,
who
we
of
know.
course has 253 points. So
Well, Rich went on the
very
Oscars.
good to everybody.
Brian
who all
Brawler,
did.
I'm offended. How dare you?
That's fair. That's really more than fair, honestly.
It's the first thing I've ever won in my life. I'd like to thank, the hosts, the people watching, YouTube.
Outlaw Nation.
What about Cool Runnings?
Oh yeah,
Darren?
John, Hello Nation. Sorry, what's that?
Oh,
What about Cool Runnings?
Thank Cool Runnings. Yeah, sure.
Oh no. The eggs are dead, baby.
Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
well, Brennan, Darren, Logan, and Justin, thank you so much. I'm sorry we weren't able to have all four of you on the whole
No,
dang
it's all
time,
good.
but all four
That's
of you
good.
are delightful. Thank you so much, and we will, of
Thank
course,
you.
hopefully be seeing you next week for another
It's a pleasure.
wonderful
Great show,
See you
episode.
later.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so
Adios.
much.
Good luck with your neg match, Brennan.
Oh,
Thank
yes,
you.
very true. Good luck, dude. And with that, that actually brings us to our final segment on our show, or I guess segment and a half, which is talking about our picks for who we think are going to win next week's matches. Mike, if you're able to, join us on stream. If you can't, that's okay. There he is. Mike, you also technically were tied in second place for everybody else, so don't worry about it. We do, of course, have to talk about the standings. Everyone always dings me for forgetting it, but well, Mike, you are muted, which I don't know if you know. I can't tell if that's the bit.
We don't have to talk about the standings. We can skip
Well,
this.
The standings.
I don't mind.
I
have-
historically don't, so I have to bring them up. You know what I mean? That's the issue.
So Mike's in last place with 8 points. John and Colin are tied with 50 points. So look at you,
Ooh,
John.
Go, John.
Look at you.
Change the
Then
man.
you change man. Then
Maybe being a
myself
villain does work for me.
with 62 points. Sean with 66. He's widened that gap. I need to close it again. And then Boggs just ahead of everyone with
Yeah.
73 points. So.
Doesn't matter. 5 matches, so things could change.
That's right. And the first one we'll be talking about is another one of these Inner Geekdom tournament matches. Moose Haas of the Finstock Exchange going up against Chance Ellison of Corruption. This is a match I think we might have talked a fair amount about last week as well. But in that case, I'm going to start off with Mike. For this one, Mike, who do you think is going to win this match?
I can't bet against Chance. I got to give the Chance on this one.
There you go. Fair enough. Soul, who do you have?
I will also go with Chance.
There you go. Boggs, who are you going to pick?
Has no, not really. Of course, Chance. Also, I think it's a studio match. So I believe anyway. So that'll be Haas's first match. You know, the lights, the audience, bit out of his element. You know, Chance is so much more experienced. Too many, advantages in Chance's favor. So, Chance for the win.
There you go. Yeah. I think I'm going to go ahead and make this sweep, say Chance, a lot of for the same reasons that Boggs was saying. That said, if I'm being honest,
he's good. Just to confirm, yeah, he's not.
Moose Haas is good, and also I feel like looking at the matches in the tournament, this is kind of the one that speaks the most to me as far as being dark horse, bracket buster upset, especially because since Chance won the tournament last year, I'm kind of feeling he's not going to win it this year, just because that's often how the fates work. So I really would not be surprised, and I demand to get half a point if Moose wins for saying all of this, of course. But I am going to go ahead and vote Chance on this match. I just want that on the record. Next up, we were talking a little bit about this one earlier as well. Paul Oyama of S.W.A.G going up against Nick Harley. This, of course, being in the singles tournament. Paul going up against Nick Harley, who's only been in, I guess, a match, but it was a teams match, which is why I almost said half a match. But he was also, for a hot second, the FCL champion. So we can't overlook this guy. But then again, of course, Paul is a former full MTS singles champion. Soul. I know, obviously, we've got swag, drip, of course. But is that where your heart is going for this one?
I think I'm going to go with 4 words here. Swag, drip.
There you go. Fair enough. Boggs, how about you?
Yeah, same. Not seeing too much of, personally, just not seeing too much of that Harley. But yeah, I mean, Oyama, one of the favorites, I guess, maybe in the top 10 to win the tournament. So yeah, big, he needs a comeback win from Oyama, and obviously he's got that elimination thing with Lightning Time. He needs a big win here. So yeah, we'll go for Oyama.
This is another one where I'm so tempted to pick Nick again, because in my mind, this is kind of the match where I'm kind of feeling like a similar Adam Collins, John Roca energy that's just exuding off of this match. And just so that way I don't actually have to feel like any of you are on the hook for giving me 0.5 points next week. Fuck it. I'll pick Nick.
Wow.
Why not? Let's do it. Let's get
fucking pick
wild. Because he could win it. He could. He's a former champion too. Who knows? Mike, who do you have?
I think we're looking at 2 different things. The Boggs brought it up. Paul needs the comeback. So Paul needs the win, the momentum. Nick doesn't need it. He just wants it. And I feel like when there's need involved, whenever it's like his back's against the wall, Paul can get a little desperate and he can get into his own feelings and his own head. So I'm going to lean Nick on this one.
Ooh.
There we go. How about that? Also worth noting, you want to talk about need. This is going to be a match of the factions that need the most points as well, with S.W.A.G and Stars. So it'll be interesting to see how that factors into this match. But how about that? Yeah, we've got a little bit more of a split going into this one. And by the way, hey, gang, the chat is being so dang nice. Look at everybody. Jeremy, Darren, Justin, Malcolm. Everybody's being so kind, especially Darren. Been so long since I've been around. You guys have built such great chemistry. Thank you so much, Darren. We've done our best, and we hope you all enjoy the show. That's what we normally do. Let me know if you thought my silly, dumb game was any fun to watch as well as be a part of, because we're just trying.
John. Do you not know that?
We're trying. We're doing our best. Hey, match number 3. I believe this one might also be in studio, if I'm not mistaken. Drew McWeeny of the Usual Suspects going up against Ty Lieberman of the Finstock Exchange. Boggs, who do you think is going to win this one?
It's kind of tougher to call this. I do like Ty. But I'm going to have to say McQueenie. Again, I believe this is a studio match that's already been filmed. So much more experience in McQueenie's corner there. Studio matches, etc. Former champ. Yeah, I'm going to go with the more experienced one here. So McQueenie.
Oh, he froze, I think.
I legit thought he was listening. Intently.
I thought he was just so.
Well,
I was listening.
He was so
invested in Boggs' answer. He just had to sit there for a minute.
I
I thought he was
promise.
looking at the chat and he was just like daydreaming. I was, yeah, sure.
Can you hear me now? Let's establish that first.
Yes.
Am I back?
Yes.
Great. I love listening to my friend Boggs. But that said, I am going to go with Ty Lieberman, just as Leo Logan does here in the chat, which I'm also looking at. If I'm not mistaken, I wasn't Ty Lieberman managing the Barbarian when the Barbarian lost to the Godfather?
Yeah, with the challenge and.
Yeah.
So in my mind, this kind of feels like the must win. Because obviously the Finstock Exchange is putting so much emphasis on these Finstock 4 rookie boys. And I think Drew McWeeny, definite legend, but I think he's just somebody that has struggled to kind of like re-cement himself ever since the Sam Levine team-up days. And as good as he is, and I think this is going to be a tight match, I got to edge it to the Tyrant. Mike, how about you?
Yeah, kind of like what you were saying. Like I still remember watching that match with Drew and Sam where they won, and Drew had that roar of victory, and everybody was when Sam announced that he was stepping down, everyone was looking at Drew like he was going to be the next big thing, and it kind of didn't happen for him. And I think everyone's kind of waiting to see another bit of that resurgence. So I'm actually going to give it to Drew on this one, because I know he's got it in him.
There you go.
He gets that fire in his belly. He can do great things.
He's absolutely got it in him. We'll see if that manifests. And Soul, who are you picking for this?
I'm agreeing with Malcolm in the chat. End of Tyrant. And Sean also has Drew McQueenie as well.
There you go. Oh, yeah. I wasn't sure if Sean and Con had their picks. Who did Sean pick for the other two?
He doesn't have those, but he has this one.
Oh, this is the one. This is a confidence pick for him, then it sounds like. Just like mine for this next match. This is kind of the little mini 4-person tournament for a title shot. First of these two matches, Jeff Snyder of the Stars going up against Chance Ellison of Corruption. We've been talking a lot about need when it comes to these 4 matches, and gang, I'm just going to be straight up with you. I need Chance to win. I personally need Chance to beat Jeff Snyder. That's what I need as a fan of this game. And I think he's got it in him. We'll see if that manifests, but I'm going with Chance Ellison for this one. Mike, who do you have?
Snyder is really hard to bet against, but I'm going to do it anyway and bet Chance on this one. Snyder is one of the best heels, I think, that we've seen in the Schmoedown, and he's got great energy when he's on there and he's having fun. And I know things have been kind of weird for him the last couple of years, but he's in a great place now, and I think he's doing great. But Chance is riding high right now, and I got Chance for this one.
There you go, Soul. Who do you have?
This one, this is another one that Sean was confident in, so I have his pick as well. But Sean has Chance Ellison, and I'm going to agree with Sean there and give it to Chance.
There we go. And I saved Bugs for last on this one because I feel like this one has got to be just eating you up, man. I feel like this has got to be maybe the hardest call you've ever had to make in your life. But now I'm going to ask you to go ahead and make it. Who do you pick between Chance Ellison and Jeff Snyder? Yeah, exactly.
Your two children. Your two children.
Snyder's definitely one of my favorite singles players of all time. But the thing is, he's hardly played this year. You know, he's had that one number 1 contender match against Dan. Again, he played good. He had the teams match, which, you know, Draco dropped out, Janine dropped in. They played great. You know, they didn't miss many questions and stuff. But the thing is, Chance has played like 2 singles matches, 2 IG matches, or 1, I think, 2 teams matches, and just played a lot more, you know, frequently. And I think Jeff's better in a tournament format, especially nowadays, where he gets regular matches. But I don't think he's playing 1 match every 3 months at this point. So I'm not going to pick him on that basis. You know, was player of the year last year. I'd love to see him, you know, have 1 last hurrah, but I'm going for Chance. 2 Chance wins in a week. Wow.
Something of a sweep. How about that?
Yeah. I like what Brian's saying here. This could be Jeff's last match this season.
Could be.
Because he had like what? Yeah, because he had 2, right? Because it was his match against Dan, which he lost, which was also like a number 1 contendership. And then was it his only title defense this year, or did the Odd Couple defend it once before Mark had to retire?
No, they didn't. That was the first teams match of this year. Was that
Gotcha.
Their title match?
Okay. Wow. How about that? Well, gang, we have one final match to talk about. Adam Collins, until the start of this year, singles champion, going up against JTE, part of that lauded Patriots team that Snyder was a part of before. Currently doing great things over on the Finstock Exchange. For this one, we're starting with Mike. Who do you have winning?
I'm looking at JTE for this one. I think it's time for the JTE Naissance. I don't know. It sounded better in my head. I think it's time for the big return of JTE. I think he's coming back.
There you go. Fair enough. Soul, who do you have winning this?
I'm going with my fellow Latino in this, the Ecuadorian JTE.
There you go. And no pick from Sean on that one?
He's going Adam Collins.
Oh, there you go. Adam Collins. Boggs, who do you have winning?
I think, I kind of want JT to win because of his comeback basically this year and how great he's been playing in teams and his singles. With the whole Finstock thing with Gucci and Roka, I do like his return. But I just imagining Collins as a player, I just can't see JT beating that guy, especially what he was like 7-0 last year or something. So I'm going to go Collins. I think it's a bit of an upset if JT beats Collins. So I'm kind of hoping for that just for the drama of it, but I think Collins will win.
Shout out to Tishka in the chat. Josh the Avengineer.
Hey, there you go. Nice. I gotta agree with Boggs on this one. Yeah, I think JTE is a solid competitor, and he's been doing some great stuff this season. But yeah, we're talking about Adam Collins, who was just absolute monster last year, similar to Jeff Snyder. But Collins has managed to get himself a little bit more gameplay this year. Obviously, a close but no cigar title match early on in the year. He's had some success in teams teaming up with Marisol McKee, but also keeping her polished as well for her now number one contender, or she just had a number one contender match and a heck of a path to get there. And now she's going up against Dan Murrell. I feel like in order to keep Marisol on her A game, Adams has in turn had to be on his A game. So I feel like this is going to be a match that Adam walks away with a W with as well. And I think it's possible. I know Christian would hate it if we, get that corruption versus corruption match, because I think that would mean we'd have to get a third competitor into the mix. I think is the rule, maybe.
I think they changed it. I believe they changed it. Maybe someone in the chat can correct us, but I believe they changed it. That was the rule, yes, but I think they've just accepted it to be what it is now. There's a certain point ruling with it, I believe, but I don't recall off the top of my head.
Understood. Well, someone smarter than me will figure it out, I'm sure. And someone smarter than me will probably win this week's picks because everybody else does. And you three are so lovely and so smart. My goodness, I love getting to host a show with you three wonderful people. I hope everybody watching at home also had a great bit of fun. Again, no guests this week. Thank you still so much for joining us. We had some lovely discussions. We had some lovely goofs and some laughs, some shenanigans, just like the thumbnail promised. We love to give y'all a show, and we hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to join the Patreon, patreon.com/John Roca. Help support this show and all the other wonderful things Roca's doing on his channel. And also, thank you so much for everybody who's been commenting, watching along. Don't forget, you can also leave some comments down below if you've got any other final parting words for us that you want us to maybe talk about next week. But that said, we're going to go around the horn. Mike, starting with you. Anything you'd like to plug?
Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. Mike Shea. Check out my podcast, The Basement Lounge. New episodes every Thursday.
There you go. Soul, how about you?
You can find me at Soul Govin on Twitter, at Soul_Govin on Instagram, and you can find me over the Pop Culture Universe. We just finished up Bad Batch, so definitely go check that out.
Nice. Boggs, how about you?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to all the patrons for coming in. Darren, Justin, Logan, Brennan, everyone chipping in. But yeah, like the video, comment. Thanks for coming along. Check us out on Pop Culture Universe, reviews, reactions, that kind of stuff. And check Mike's page out, Basement Lounge is really good as well. Thanks for watching. See you all next week.
There you go. And as for me, at John Barb Tweets on Twitter and Instagram, John_Bar on TikTok as well. I just posted my third ever TikTok. Oh boy. What a page full of content you can find
influencer.
Oh, yeah. Number one influencer. That's me. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. And we hope to see you next week. Bye. Oh, man. I think I only coughed once during that whole episode. How about that? Maybe I am.